Alright, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double honor to the apostles of GMS. This is Amna Allah coming at you once again with another video. And I was just thinking about the scripture in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 19, when the apostle Paul said to the Corinthians that the Most High dwelleth in you, that our body is a temple. And that's true, our body is a temple. I'm driving right now, so I'm just going to quote the scriptures. It said that your body is a temple. And that's true, our body is a temple. Our body is a dwelling place for our spirit. And our spirit is just a portion of the Most High Spirit. Because I believe it's in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18 and 4, when the Most High said, all souls are mine. And that's true, all souls are mine. All souls belong to the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All souls are a portion. All souls are a portion of the Most High Spirit. Really, you know, all souls come from the Most High. Okay, so the scripture says your body is a temple. And that's a fact. Our body is a temple. We are the Most High's building. I believe that's in 1 Peter or 2 Peter, 2nd chapter. But it said your body is a temple of the Most High, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own. Right, we are not our own. We don't belong to our own selves. We belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's who owns us. That's who belongs unto us. That's why the Apostle Paul spoke about being a servant for Yahweh's sake. We're servants for the sake of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. As prophets of the Lord, our duty here on this earth is to do the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua as long as we're here, until our death. When it comes to the truth, there is no taking breaks. You know, you're always in the spirit. You're always supposed to be in the spirit. Now, when I say always in the spirit, you're always supposed to be in the spirit. I'm not saying every single moment of the day you're going to be doing a show. Every single moment of the day, every single day you're going to be fasting, because you'll drop dead if you fast every single day. You know, but you're always going to be in the spirit. In other words, you're always going to have that righteous spirit on you. So even though it's going to be a constant war between the spirit and the flesh, you're always going to have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua on you. Like, I'll give you an example. You in this truth, right? And you go to the supermarket. Guess what? You go to the supermarket, when you're about to buy something, you're going to look at the ingredients. Why? Because you're in the spirit. You're in the spirit, so you're going to look at the ingredients to make sure whatever it is that you're buying don't got nothing in it that's forbidden by the law. That's found in the book of Leviticus. And also in the book of Deuteronomy. You're going to look into the scriptures. Or rather, the scriptures are going to be in your mind. And when you read these different things, the scriptures are going to come to mind. But that's just a natural reaction. When you've been in the truth so long, it's like it's what they call they call it second nature. As a matter of fact, I could type right now. It's what they call like second nature. Okay? And second nature is basically like when you behave in a certain way so often, it becomes like a habit. It's like you just can't break it. Matter of fact, I don't even want to go too deep into that because now the spirits don't even want to do a show on that. But that's what happens. Like, you've been in this truth for so long, everything spiritual becomes second nature. It becomes second nature. It's like it's been a habit for so long, you can't even shake the habit. You got a tendency to doing certain things according to the scriptures. You have a propensity, a great likelihood to doing certain things in accordance to the scriptures. So when you go and you about to buy something from the supermarket or whatever, you're gonna make sure that nothing is in it that's not according to the scriptures. Nothing is in that the scriptures forbid. But that's what I was saying before. You're not your own. We don't belong to ourselves. We belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's how when you read the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. Here we go with this again. Now I don't want to rain. But It said, ye are not your own. When you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, the last verse, what the scripture says is, the scripture have said that, fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So that's man's duty, to fear the Most High and to keep His commandments. That's what we're here for. We're here to fear the Lord and to keep His commandments. We're here to do what the Lord told us to do, and nothing else. We're not here to do our own damn thing. So as a prophet of the Lord, us not belonging to our own selves and belonging to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, that's our duty to do the work. Which brings me to another scripture in the book of 1 Samuel, the first chapter. Now Samuel's father, Elkanah, Samuel had a mother named Hannah. And Hannah was Hannah, who was Samuel's mother. Her husband Elkanah had another wife named
In 1/10 of a mile, turn right onto Flatbush Avenue.
Had a mother named he had another wife named Penaniah. I don't have the scriptures in front of me, so I don't want to misquote it. But Hannah had no children, but the other wife did.
Turn right
what
now.
Happened was Hannah basically felt ashamed because she couldn't bear children, and she prayed to the Lord that she would have be with child. And the child that the Most High gave her was Samuel, which Samuel was the greatest son of all of Elkanah's children. And when you read the book of Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, when you get down to about the 27th verse, what happens is when Elkanah is praying to the Lord, she says that Samuel's spirit was lent unto the Lord. Now, when you lend someone something, you're giving them to someone. In other words, Samuel's spirit was basically given to the Lord. Samuel's purpose was to do the will of the Most High in righteousness, to be a prophet. That's why he has that name, Shemai Allah, which means heard of the Most High. Because his mother prayed to the Lord, and her prayer was heard, and she had a son. And Samuel, I believe in the book of this is the book of 1 Samuel, and when you go to 1 Samuel, I believe it's the 3rd chapter, the 1st verse, the scriptures tell you that the word of the Lord was precious in those days. Something that's precious, something that is high in quality, but low in quantity. In other words, the word of the Lord was precious. It was high in quality, but it was low in quantity. Why is that? Very simple, because the word of the Lord wasn't given to many people at that time. It wasn't given to many. And Samuel at that time just happened to have been the one that the Most High was really dealing with. The Most High was really working with through the Spirit. Alright? And nobody else he was dealing with at that time was on Samuel's level. Now you had King David, which King David was anointed by Samuel. That was one of Samuel's duties. He was not his own. He was meant to do the will of the Father. And that brings to another scripture when you go to the book of Jeremiah, maybe the 11th or the 13th chapter. I forget exactly what chapter it is, but it tells you Samuel basically was catching so much hell. Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah. If I didn't say that, the book of Jeremiah was basically catching so much hell. He said, "I'm not even gonna make mention of the Lord's name no more," because he was catching so much hell. He was getting frustrated with the hell he was catching for the sake of the word of the Most High. But guess what? Jeremiah said, "But the word of the Most High was like a fire that was burning in his bones." The word of the Most High was like a fire in his bones. In other words, he couldn't stop teaching the word if he wanted to. Why? Because that was his duty. He was not his own. He couldn't do what he wanted. When you go to the book of Proverbs, scripture say what? Scripture tell you it's not in man to direct his steps. The Most High directs our steps. Scripture tell you the king's heart is in the Lord's hand, and he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Most High turns the king's heart, which your heart is so much your mind. He turns it whithersoever he will. However, the Most High chooses to make you act and make you think is up to the Most High's choosing. It's not up to your own choosing. So when Jeremiah was cast in so much hell and didn't want to teach the word because of it, it was like a fire that was burning in his bones and saying you couldn't stop. You couldn't stop teaching. Because you're not your own. We belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, and we're here to do his bidding. And that brings to another scripture in the book of 2 Corinthians, I believe it's 2 Corinthians 5:15. It says, he that died for all, I'm not quoting it verbatim, but it says, he that died for all, we not deliver to ourselves, but to him which died for them. So, Yahushua died for all, meaning all of Israel, beginning with the elect. When I say Israel, I'm talking about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, based upon your father's lineage. Those are the ones that the Most High sent the Son to die for, beginning with the elect.
In 1/10 of a mile, turn left onto Dikmaz Avenue.
Because the Most High is dealing with the elect. Alright? So that's who the Most High
Turn left now.
is really dealing with. He's really dealing with the elect. So when it says, and he that died for all, that they would not live the life unto themselves, but to him which died for them. That's talking about Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He died for us. Being that he died for us, we're no longer to live unto ourselves, but to live unto him that made them. So we're to live unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Yahweh, who's the Heavenly Father. Bahashem, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning the, Shem meaning name, Yahushua is his son. So we live unto ourselves, we live unto him that made him, unto him that died for us, which is Yahushua. And what was Yahushua all about? He was about his father's business. So we gotta be about the father's business. You know? I mean, when it comes to this truth, you gotta be serious. This truth isn't a game. This truth isn't like, basketball. Like Flamer used to say, you play basketball, you don't play boxing. I don't know if he said play basketball, but he said you don't play boxing, which that's true. It's a fight. That's not something that you play. Oh, I'm just playing. Playing around in that ring and messing around and get you killed. So that's like this truth. You don't play with this truth. This truth is a serious deal. It's a serious thing. It's so serious to the point when you got guys that can't do it no more, and what eventually happens is they fizzle out, they phase out. Their spirit is on fire for 1 minute, and next minute they cold. Now you ain't gonna be on fire all of the time. You're not gonna be on fire all of the time. We're men, we're human beings. There's gonna be times when you're gonna be higher spiritually than you were previously. There's gonna be some times when you're on a certain level spiritually at a particular day and time, and that level is gonna be higher than the level you was on before. And then it's gonna be another levels where you were higher than that other high level. So you're not gonna necessarily be on fire all the time. And if somehow, some way you're on fire all the time, there's gonna be certain levels of fire that's gonna be more it's gonna burn greater than others. And that's just the truth of the whole matter. Okay? So the scripture says you're not your own. We don't belong to the most. We don't belong to ourselves. We belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. He wasn't put on this earth to do our own thing. He was put on this earth to serve the will of the Most High. And being a prophet of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, we're here to do the work. So you gotta go out and teach. You gotta do shows. You gotta stay in the scriptures. You gotta fast. You gotta watch as well as pray. You gotta do what the scriptures say do. And with that, I'm not gonna make this too long. I'm gonna close right there. And with that, I'm gonna say all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. All the brothers learn something. Shalom.